Welcome to today's episode, and we have a crazy one for you. Trump has done it again, this time, suggesting that the U.S. should permanently control Gaza. You heard that right. In a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, he floated the idea of the U.S. taking over Gaza, not ruling out sending American troops, and even relocating Palestinians to somewhere else. What does this even mean? Is he serious? Could this ever happen? Let's break it all down. Trump's statement is straightforward. Gaza is a mess. The U.S. should step in, take control, and move the Palestinians elsewhere. Sound familiar? History has seen this play out before. After World War II, global powers redrew borders in the Middle East, setting the stage for decades of conflict. The U.S. intervened in Iraq, thinking it could establish a stable democracy, only to spend 2 decades in war and trillions of dollars, leaving behind more chaos than order. Vietnam, Afghanistan, Libya. Every time the U.S. has tried to fix a foreign nation, the results have been disastrous. So why does Trump think America taking over Gaza would be any different? Trump's comments aren't just random. They serve a purpose. First, election strategy. Trump is gearing up for the 2024 election, and he needs bold statements to grab attention. His voter base, which includes strong Israel supporters, loves the idea of the U.S. standing firm against Palestine and Iran. This is red meat for them. Second, pleasing Netanyahu. The Israeli Prime Minister has long pushed for more aggressive action in Gaza. Trump throwing this idea out there gives Netanyahu a powerful endorsement. Third, shifting U.S. foreign policy. Trump believes America has been weak under Biden. By suggesting a more aggressive approach, he's signaling that a second Trump term would mean stronger U.S. involvement in Middle East geopolitics. Who actually supports this? Supporters of this idea argue that Gaza is too unstable to govern itself, so external control is needed. If the U.S. takes control, Hamas would be eliminated once and for all. Relocating Palestinians would bring a final solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But this argument falls apart quickly when you look at the facts. The U.S. can't even handle its own problems. How would it govern Gaza? America's last big overseas nation-building experiment was Afghanistan. It ended with the Taliban taking over in a matter of weeks. If the U.S. steps into Gaza, it would immediately become a target for resistance groups, Islamic militants, and even neighboring countries. Forcibly relocating Palestinians is a geopolitical nightmare. Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and other U.S. allies have already rejected this idea. They do not want millions of Palestinian refugees flooding into their borders. It would be seen as ethnic cleansing, a massive violation of international law. Sending U.S. troops would spark another endless war. Does America really want another military engagement in the Middle East? Sending troops would invite immediate backlash, not just from Hamas, but from Iran, Hezbollah, and radical groups across the region. Let's imagine for a moment that the U.S. actually tried to control Gaza. Scenario 1. International pressure kills the idea immediately. The United Nations condemns it. U.S. allies in Europe, including France and Germany, refuse to support it. Middle Eastern countries unite against it. Scenario 2. The U.S. sends troops, and it turns into a disaster. Resistance movements form overnight. American troops get stuck in guerrilla warfare. Iran, Turkey, and other regional powers react aggressively. Scenario 3. Trump walks back his comments if elected. Trump has a history of making shocking statements, then later dialing them back. Once in office, he realizes it's logistically impossible, and blames the deep state or the Pentagon for blocking his plan. Realistically, the U.S. is not taking over Gaza. This is more about Trump flexing on the campaign trail than an actual military strategy. So where does this leave U.S. foreign policy? If Trump wins in 2024, expect more aggressive pro-Israel moves, but no full takeover of Gaza. If Biden stays in power, the U.S. will maintain a cautious stance, avoiding direct intervention. Other Middle Eastern powers, especially Iran, will continue to challenge U.S. and Israeli influence in the region. Trump's idea isn't just unrealistic, it's dangerous. History has shown that U.S. military interventions don't bring peace, they bring prolonged conflict. The last thing the U.S. needs is another war. So what do you think? Is this just another Trump attention stunt? Or is there a real chance the US could get more deeply involved in Gaza? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into global politics. See you in the next video.